Dundalk FC team manager Shane Keegan joins me here ahead of the game against St.Patrick's Athletic at the weekend. First of all, Shane, I believe there's a new arrival into the club, not officially announced yet, but can you tell us any more about Wilfred Zahibo?
Yeah, I think we're very nearly there, Kieran, thankfully. Look, it's a deal we've been trying to get done for quite a while now, longer than we would have hoped, really, to be honest with you. But I know I've said before that it's nearly there, but it very, very much nearly there this time round. I think we should expect white smoke over the next couple of days, all going well, so I think it'll be a huge addition.
What's the situation in regards to quarantine and the likes?
Yeah, no, not too bad on his front. He isn't coming from one of the mandatory 14-day areas, so he will be the same as any of the other players who've come in previously, which is 5-day quarantine, which would once we get that out of the way, he'll be good to go.
So he won't be available for Pats?
No, definitely won't be available for Pats, unfortunately, but with 3 games in 7 days, we'd hope to get him involved maybe at some stage next week.
Yeah, look, I've just been talking to Michael Duffy there, and we made the point about the 3 games this week, and we're going to start seeing more midweek games coming up now over the next while. A lot of games, and you've obviously got a big squad, so I'm sure you look to maybe rotate the bodies a little bit, but you're in a difficult situation at the moment. But in a week's time I could be standing here talking to you and we could have a very different outlook on things all of a sudden.
Yeah, that's it. Look, there's no doubt it is a make or break period. There's very little point in saying otherwise. If we were to go and pick up somewhere between 7 and 9 points out of that 6-7 day period, all of a sudden, I won't say you're quite back on track, but you're definitely in a hell of a better position, and things are moving in the right direction again. Let's be honest, if we fail to do that, your chances of getting back up to the very, very top really start to disappear. So we just have to get it right over that period, that's for sure.
In saying all of that, you've got a very difficult game this Saturday. You're taking on the league leaders. You're coming into this obviously out of form, just a point from the 4 games, whereas Pats are flying 3 wins and a draw. So if you're going to get things rolling, this is a difficult start, certainly.
Yep. Look, they are where I would have expected them to be honest with you. You could see signs in their play last year that they were becoming a very, very good side, and I thought with a second season to work with them, Stevie was always going to start to get more out of them. They've signed very, very well, so I don't think it's any surprise to anybody, and they'll be there for the long haul too. That's it's not just early season form. I think they'll be thereabouts right through to the end. They have a couple of players that they will need to stay fit, I think, and if they do that, I'd expect them to be there for the long haul. So yeah, it's certainly not an easy one in terms of what we're facing.
Can you tell us any more about this meeting that took place here on Sunday? There was a lot of talk in the media about a team meeting being called. Yeah,
I think it was probably a bit more made out of it than there had been. Look, when things aren't going as well as you want them to go, you tend to get everybody together and try and shake things up and talk about what you need to set right, and that's quite simply that's all that went on Sunday morning. But look, I think that happens anywhere. Look, that's the kind of thing that probably happens 2 or 3 times in the season, never mind just as a once off.
Have you spoken to the club's hierarchy recently?
Well, from our point of view, the hierarchy is Jim. That's the role he was brought in, so we would be chatting to Jim, on a daily basis, obviously, in terms of what we need to correct, what we need to try and get right, and then we let him deal with it from there in terms of dealing with it across the water. So that's how it works. And you still feel that the club has confidence in the management setup at the moment? Yeah, at the moment, being the key phrase. Look, I don't think in any setup, if results are going wrong for a prolonged period, well then obviously there's going to be there's going to be pressure, there's going to be changes or whatever, and we're starting to get to a stage where we're burdened. We're coming close to what you'd call a prolonged period, so there's no doubt we do need to get it right ASAP, and if we do, well then we'll be given space to turn it around and drive it on, and if we don't, you will assume changes will be made somewhere down the line. But that's only human nature. You can't be enjoying this at the moment though. No. I'm enjoying working with the players. I'm enjoying the fact that the players are not turning on each other, not turning on the club, not turning in any way, shape or form, and are determined to try and swing it all around. But enjoying match night, or enjoying results, or enjoying press conferences, I suppose, if I'm honest. No, I think you're lying there. It's not the most enjoyable part of it at the moment, that's for sure.
And look, I was just discussing with Michael as well, obviously we've mentioned Wilfred Zahibo coming in, and I know we've spoken in previous interviews here about trying to gel these new group of players together, because you just look out at the pitch every week, the amount of individual quality. There's probably rarer been a League of Ireland team with so many star-studded names and international players. Where do you feel you are at the moment in terms of bedding everyone in together?
Yeah, I agree with you, the quality is there, and I suppose the disappointing thing from our point of view is it looked in pre-season as if it was all gelling very, very quickly, and then for whatever reason that hasn't quite been the case. We've chopped and changed starting 11, we've made a lot of changes in game, all things you don't really want to be doing, but it is a bit of a case of chicken and egg. You know, if you have a more settled team, you tend to win games, but you also tend to have a more settled team after winning games, if that makes sense. But we just, yeah, I think if we can start to try and bed down some form of continuity, I think that definitely would work in our favour, all right. But again, it's easier said than done until lads absolutely nail their starting shirt.
You mentioned those half-time subs. It's been quite I suppose it's been prevalent in a good few of the games so far. Has there been a reason behind that, or what's been the thinking?
Yeah, I suppose, look, you can, you know, from a perception point of view, you can leave a fella on the field for 5 minutes into the second half, so that it doesn't look like he was taken off at half-time. That's pretty pointless, because obviously at halftime you're able to get the message across to the players a hell of a lot better in terms of what you want done differently if you're making changes. So from our point of view, that's the decision that we've made, to make changes at halftime. But you know, you could make the argument that if we were getting it right from the off, we wouldn't have to be making them at halftime, you know.
Shane, thanks very much and best luck the weekend.
Cheers.